Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. I wanted to go over something with you pertaining to the Dodd-Frank Act with credit card relief. And I don't know how I got to this. I'm always investigating stuff. And I happened to get the internal notes. I hope I'm not breaking any laws here. The internal notes spreadsheets of exactly how much money banks had taken in the TARP program, which was the relief program that uh, the last President Bush had put into action to save the banks during the financial crisis. Look at these amounts of money on here. Look at this. Look at this. And look at these unrealized write offs from some of these. I don't know what that was all about, but you will see companies like American Express in here. There's different banks that are in here: Citizens Bank, American Express Bank, Community Bank of Bay. I mean, just all of these here. First, let me do this. Let's just scroll through some of these. I think that you'll find this interesting. And the point of this video is to talk about all of these banks that took TARP funds are required to work with you if you're trying to do some type of debt relief. They have to do settlements. They are not allowed to not offer you settlements because this was part of what they signed on for when they got the money for TARP. Now they might didn't sign. I'm sorry, when Obama came into office and he put the Dodd-Frank Act into order, that was a piece of that was to make all of the banks that got money from TARP have to do debt relief. Now, when Bush put it in, they didn't have to do nothing. It was a one-page form. They could just take the money and run. But when Obama came in, he did add to it, and they call it the Dodd-Frank Act. They got it signed, and they made the banks say, okay, you took that money, we saved you, and now you need to save people by offering them the opportunity to do settlements. That's why you'll hear there's new rules in Congress that allows you to settle your debt. That is true, and it was due to the Dodd-Frank Act, thanks to President Obama. So look at this. I'm scrolling through the list of some of the banks here, and there's some other ones on another page, but I want you to look at these. American Express was in here. I saw different companies. Now I'm gonna move over here. This is a huge spreadsheet. Talking about huge. I mean, look at the money and that's on there. Let's see right here. So you can see and you can see it's even a line here, but look at this. This is a one no, that's $1 billion. $1 million write-off. You never know. This could be in the billions. You know how they be fooling us on that. But it has two zeros, so we'll leave it at that. But look at this. Look at this. You see that? Has sold, redeem in full. From what I was reading, a lot of the banks, they uh, brought in the money. This one here says sold. So what I'm guessing is that the bank ended up selling off assets, and this was the loss that the government took on that. Let's see here. There were some other ones that I want to show you here. Here we go. I'm going to move back over here. Some of these banks here that I saw on this one were more. These banks that's in this list was some of the ones that were more well known. But let me get back at the top here. So you can see here. Here goes some of the bank names. You see that? There are these bank names. Look who's right here. Who is this? American Express Company, American Express Company, American Express Company. Whoa. Let's see here. So you see Bancorp. We heard of that. Oh, who's right here? Bank of America, Bank of America, Bank of America, Bank of America, Bank of Commerce. Let's see here. Bank of the Ozarks. Look at these names that are on here. Berkshire Hill. Let's see. We got some other ones that are well known. We got Capital One, Capital Bank. Here we go. Capital One Financial, Capital One. Look at this. So look at this list Of all of these banks, they all took money. They all took money. We haven't even made it out of the seas yet. Look at this. Look at this long list of banks who had their hand out when they got in trouble. And when we get into trouble, it seems like they're not as willing to work with us, or they're not as open to work with us when they should be. You know, they agreed to that with the Dodd Frank Act. Look, it's just so many here. We're only in the H's. I'm going to move over here so we can look at the money. This is in the billions, 90 million. I mean, look at this. Billion. That's 20. Who is this? JP Morgan Chase, $25 billion. Here, look. JP Morgan Chase, $25 billion. $25 billion. Let's see who else here. 1.3 billion. This is Huntington Bank shares, and they're one 1.3 billion. Let's just have a little fun with the billion-dollar banks that took billion. Look at this one. That's $10 billion. That's Goldman Sachs. Look at that. Goldman Sachs. Right there. Goldman Sachs, $10 billion. They did pay it back. Look at that. Redeem in full warrants not outstanding. So not going to jump on them, but because they got help at that time, they have to offer individuals help with doing debt settlement. Let's go see if we got some more here. I mean, this list is just huge. Look at all of the money. Really, when they were talking about saving the banking system, literally the United States Treasury saved the banking system. I mean, look at this. This is all money. Here's 7 billion. Who got the 7 billion? PNC Financial. PNC Financial got 7 billion. 6.5 billion. Who is that? U.S. Bank Corp. Let's see here. Let's get to some more billions. 25 billion. Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, 25 billion. And 700 million at Zions Bank. Zions Bank, $25 million. So what I was seeing here, and there's another sheet that they have here, and I was finding some very interesting things in here. I kind of combed through, and like some of these things, like if you look at this one here, dismissed its bankruptcy proceeding without recovery to any creditors or investment. So you could see that it did not work 100% in favor for all banks. Some of the banks that got, they just, I guess, were too far gone and they ended up taking the money, trying to fix some things and didn't fix some things. I'm hoping that they didn't take the money and then run and got a good parachute and then bankrupted the bank. I mean, I'm just saying that this is, if you look here, this is what happened with some of the banks. Like this one here, Plan City Group become effective. Let's see, bankruptcy reorganization plan for Citigroup and became effective in Treasury preferred stock, and warrants were made extinguished and replaced by contingent value rights on 2010. Expired without value in terms conditions. So that could have been just a full loss right there. So uh, what the banks agreed to with the Dodd-Frank Act was that they had to offer you consumers the ability to do settlements. They all had a have a hardship department, but the thing is that what I'm finding is that it's very hard to get to the hardship department. And when you get there, they're kind of, I guess the rules were not set in stone. So every business, which we don't want the government telling businesses how to do business, but it was not set in stone how you can get to doing a settlement. Basically, what I've been seeing companies offer on their settlements is that if you're still speaking with the original creditor, and they're going to usually be somewhere around, well, first they're going to offer you payments, they're going to offer you deferments, and then they might go at 90%, 80%, 75%. If it's been handed off to a debt collector for the original creditor, they may be somewhere in the 50 to 60% range. Now, what made me specifically do my homework on this, in which I ended up somehow getting documents from the Federal Treasury about TARP, was that American Express and Discover Card, they do not sell their debt. And we had a call into the office today, not from a client, just from an individual asking a question, because what happened with them was they called American Express. They had stopped paying on the card, and they called American Express some months later after it charged off, and they asked, "Well, I want to settle that debt. Can I settle it?" And American Express said, "We don't have it." So what I want to do is I want to make it clear what American Express and Discover do. And and they said they didn't have it, and then a few months later they came back and said, "We do have it." And they can, let's talk about settling. And let me tell you why that can happen with American Express and Discover Card. They send out their debt to companies to collect from for them, and they don't sell them. It's against the law for them to be a debt collector, so they have to do this. So their debt collectors may have the debt, and when you call American Express or Discover, you may not even be able to get to someone that can see your account anymore. They may look at it and it's like either a blank screen, or it looks like you were never a client there, or like your account is closed and they have no data, and they have to forward you over to the other company. Some of the times the reps, they don't pay attention to the screen fully, and they end up saying that they don't have any information on your account anymore. Trust me, they do have information on your account. You just got to get to the right department, or you got to get a rep that is experienced with looking at the full screen. You will notice that when you call for all of these banks, even Chase and Citibank, all of these, they're using overseas agents, and some of the times you may get an agent that is in training, and or agent that has just been trained, and they don't really look at the full screen. I've had this happen at my bank before, where just for some reason the agent did not look at the full screen. They make mistakes just like American agents make mistakes. And so what will happen is they will send it back to American Express, or they sent it back to American Express, and they talk to him about doing a settlement. And some of the times when they send them back, they will choose to do a 1099-C, cancellation of debt. So to be clear, for today's this video, what we're talking about is for debt relief for the Dodd-Frank Act that was imposed and signed by President Obama. Banks that got TARP funds had to agree to do settlements for clients who could not pay their credit card debt. They must negotiate in good faith. The problem or the issue that people run into is that most people are not ready to negotiate with the cards, with the original creditors during the time that it is open to negotiate with the original creditors, and they might sell off your debt to a debt collector, or they may, uh, if it's American Express or Discover, they send it over to a debt collector, and it takes a little bit of time for them to either contact you, and then you can work out your settlement with them. Regardless if they send it to them or not, they have to go through the offering of debt relief with you. That is required. So I just wanted to get that information over to you. I hope I don't get into any trouble for getting these documents. I mean, they were sitting there and I got them. But if you need help with your credit, please uh, go to thecreditrepairshop.com, watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my two-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com. If you need, if you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters. statute of limitations letter, debt validation letter, and cease and desist collection activities letter. I have instructions on which one you need to send pertaining to your situation. I do ask for a donation on there. I think it's well worth it. It can help you save hundreds, if not even thousands of dollars, and potentially stop you from getting sued in court. Before I let you go, please, I'm gonna uh, scroll all the way up. So just in case you see one of the banks that you had some dealings with, because even if they've sold the debt, you could potentially still force them into doing settlements. And this could be for personal loans too. It wasn't just with credit card debt. It's just more known with credit card debt. While I'm scrolling through this, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you post your questions and comments. Still scrolling through here. We're only in the V's. Um, I really enjoy making these videos. This information, for some reason, just comes to me and I want to share it. I think it's very valuable, especially when you see this list of banks, when you know the back history on this, just in case you wasn't paying attention back in 2008. TARP was put together because the banking system was going to crash due to bad loans, bad housing loans. They were something called liars loans, where people had good credit, but they could not afford the houses. They were getting homes on interest only payments. Payments came due. People could not refinance. They were losing houses left and right. So you can see that all of these different banks ended up getting help from our federal government, which is our money from the Treasury to stay afloat. And we can see that some of the banks did not make it through the process, but also we can see that the huge banks, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, these banks took billions of dollars to be able to stay afloat and to stay in business. So we need to make sure that we know our rights, just in case you have loans or anything that was with them during that period of time that went bad. I'm not talking about loans that you recently had that went bad. I'm talking about loans that potentially went bad back from 2008 to 2010, 12 to 13, maybe 14 or 15 because they were under that. But anything that is, well, I take that back. I take that back. This still stands. This law is still enacted. So if you had any loans with any of these companies, they are still, so regardless of that everything is back to normal, they still have to abide by the Dodd-Frank Act. So we're about to make it into the A's, and you can see here almost there. There we go. So thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of creditrepairshop.com.